Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to this edition of the GASO cast. I think we're episode 9, fellas. Today is going to be the live period recap. Before we get started with that, some housekeeping. We're going to talk a lot about the live period today, but the GASO newsletter. Lyndon, you sent the template out. There's going to be a ton of names that I purposely for the GASO cast didn't speak about because I want to talk about in depth on the newsletter. So be looking out for that Friday. Tonight on our Instagram, we're going to drop the first list of teams committed to our Bryan GASO, which is going to be next Saturday and Sunday in Bryan, Texas. And as always, follow us on social media because you'll get even more coverage. Right now there's a lot of sports and non-GASO stuff, but still, we're all still really good follows on X and Instagram. Blue, you're heading to Instagram. Mass is on Instagram. My Instagram is probably not as GASO related, but I'm still a fun follow, I promise. Lyndon, same as you. So before we get started with talking about the live period, what's on y'all's mind, fellas? A little bit of just like what's going on. Blue, I know you're happy that live period's over because of the logistics. How are you feeling?
Man, I feel rested. The one thing that I can rant about is that every Monday, it seems like for the past, I don't know, 3 out of 4 weeks, it rains on Monday, so we can't go play baseball. My little 9 year old wants to be out there hitting the ball, running around, learning more about the game, and yeah, 3 out of the last 4 have been canceled because it's been too wet or muddy outside. So, ironically, though, next Monday we have 2 games to finish off the season before playoffs, and yeah, we'll see how we do.
Boy, Lyndon. As always, the people already know if the stars are still involved in what's going on, that's going to be your rant. So let me hear how you're feeling.
Yeah. It's the Dallas Stars, and not
Not the
just the
wrong
Stars that I
shirt,
want to talk about.
not the wrong logo flip, not picking up your
Yeah,
shirt. I was like, what are you showing us?
went to the wrong side. That happened. But yeah, the Stars in the third straight year of the Western Conference Finals. Mavs, Cooper Flag, Rangers, really good pitching staff having a great year. Paige Bucker's making the Wings relevant. The Renegades having a nice season in the UFL. I mean, it's a great time for North Texas sports fans, and I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. But vibes are high all across the teams that I support.
Yeah, for me, my rant this week. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm playing. Let's not. Let's not. Um,
I was going to go there. I was going to go there.
no. My rant. Obviously, if you're new to the program, Case and Wallace and I are pretty close. I'm also my business partner's Tyler Relf, who's trained with Julius Randle all of his life. So I'm really close with that camp as well. So this Western Conference Finals is very interesting. On one side you have Case and Wallace and OKC. On the other side, my place of business for work most of the week has Julius Randle court painted on it. So I'm conflicted. I'm just looking for high level basketball. But as long as Shea Gilgis Alexander keeps getting that whistle, OKC might be seeing themselves in the finals after game one, but it's early. So, as always, we talk Gasso, but, we are human and we like other stuff. So we always want to see what's going on with our stuff. Before we get to the championships, I want to say if my internet goes out, because it's my fault. Last week there was 8 minutes of streaming. The full episode will be posted to our YouTube channel. Unfortunately, I don't have fiber connection, so who knows? But right now, y'all are rocking with us. So, Lyndon, shout out the champs real quick because we had a good amount of brackets. Who had some love this weekend and who got it done?
Yeah, our champion, starting with the NBA division in the red bracket, Elevate U had another great weekend at the Gaso. Came out with the championship there. D1 Mexico 16U. We'll talk about some of their guys in the white bracket. The Fusion Elite team. A lot of dudes on that squad won our blue bracket. Arnold Elite National took home the gold bracket in a game that we almost had to do the drop dead stop. If you the old days where you had the drop dead where you can't play past 3:30, that game lasted 15 minutes past any other one on the blue side on Sunday. Rhythm in 17U won the black bracket. Texas Future in the green bracket for the NBA, and Texas Hard Work Bones for the Navy. NCAA championships. Dallas Mustangs 15U, Union 2028. Houston Hoops CM, FOE Elite Hoyt, um, Our NIT champions were AOH 2028, first responders, Team Griffin Academy 15U Select, and then our eighth grade champion was actually Drive Nation's seventh grade junior EYBL. And our seventh grade champions were Showtime Elite. So congratulations to all you teams
Clap it up for him.
who
Clap
took
it
home
up
some
for him.
hard
Clap it up for him.
this weekend at the live period GASO Madness.
So let's get into it. Congrats to the champions. Our first segment, Mr. Reliable. Going into live period, who was that performer that you knew would step up? Lyndon, who was that for you? I know you just read a lot, so we're going to keep you hot over here.
Yeah. I'm going to pick Elijah York with MMB out of Frisco Emerson. And this kid, like you see him on the court with his length and his ability to get to the bucket. And there's a lot of translatable tools that just immediately jump out to me as an evaluator. When he's shooting the ball well, when he's making good decisions in transition, I think he's one of the biggest upside kids that was at the event this weekend because he just has, it's not just about the length, the size, the ability to score. He's got some really good intangibles and seems to read the game really well, especially when he's the one leading the break after a steal or a long rebound. Here, you can just take off and go, and something good's going to happen on the other end of the court.
Absolutely. Blue, who was Mr. Reliable for you this weekend?
Looking at Southern Assault Metro, Trey Hall. Trey Hall goes out there and gets buckets all the time. Like, it just doesn't matter who's guarding him, where he's at on the floor. He can just put the ball on the court and just he gets places. He gets to open areas. He can shoot over defenders. He'll go rebound and score at the beyond the arc. He'll go inside and go over either shoulder. I mean, he's just got a lot to his game that you expect him to put up big numbers. And he has a teammate with Josiah Onkra, who is a wiry 6'2", 2027 from Southmore, Oklahoma. Even though he's out of state, I mean, this guy comes in here and he's another guy that's going out there to the court and performing for them. And I think that those are two guys that were reliable throughout the entire weekend that you knew that were going to come and show what they could do, and especially with Trey Hall from North Crowley. So, I mean, it was a fun way to kind of just see the guys that you knew, like you said, Mr. Reliable, out there performing and doing their thing.
Yeah, for me, Jonathan Williams of Team Strive. Anytime we see Team Strive and Jonathan Williams in our event, I'm already like, oh, this is one of my favorite point guards in the region. But his ability to either fill it up or get anybody involved, it's great because he could have one game where he can go for 25 plus, which he did this weekend. But you know what you're getting, alpha, leader, one of those floor generals that play both ways. When you're talking about a point guard, the Timberview product always delivers, and he did that at a high level this week as well. So shout out to you, Jonathan. Moving on to our next segment, breakout performers. Who took advantage of the stage and moment and upped their stock going into, the summer, yeah. Blue, who was that for you?
This one is a cool one for me because I remember him being pushed around in a stroller many years ago with his brother playing at the GASOs. And this one is DJ Harge with RTX Hoops, Pflugerville Hendrickson. I mean, he went out and put up a couple of 20-point games, especially when I was watching him. He's this guy that has the ability with great footwork with the ball in his hands to be able to get by the initial defender and then get into an open court situation to create for himself or for others. He's really slippery getting to the rim and finishing inside the lane. He's going to drop some threes on you defensively. Like I said, his footwork, he moves so well back and forth laterally. And he can probably contribute that because he's a really, really good soccer player also. And so he can bring that out to the basketball court. That's going to translate to make him just quicker. His stop and go action, it's pretty impressive. And he's a guy that kind of took care of his game on the stage to perform for us. And also, I was talking to his dad, who's a former Major League Baseball player. A lot of pedigree here, a lot of bloodlines for him. That where, you know what, he said, if you can get it done on the GASO stage and the right people are watching, good things are going to happen. And I think that this is a good start for DJ.
Absolutely. Lyndon, I love this name. I almost took it from you, but I know you'll speak on it a lot better than I can.
Let's go with Kelton Robertson. for AB Elite National 16U. Yeah, there's going to be a lot said about him in the newsletter as well. I can already tell. Um, this guy, long arms and shooting the ball out to 25, 26 feet, knocking it down, making it look easy. Just somebody who like you immediately are drawn to as an evaluator, saying like, yeah, this guy has what it takes to be a big time 3-and-D type wing, where obviously shoots the ball at a really high clip, long arms, plays in passing lanes, great instincts when he gets to the rim. Yeah, I think that his best basketball is in front of him, and there's going to be. It wouldn't surprise me if he's playing on the AB Elite EYBL team at some point this summer, because he was that loud this weekend.
No, I definitely agree. Mine is Jamel Wolford, Cowboys 2026. The guard from East Central went crazy all weekend long. Slender frame, but at 6'1", I mean, he's able to just knife between defenses. 3-level scorer. And when you talk about a breakout performer who took advantage of the moment, we have it on our Instagram. The game-winning 3 down 2. You know, there's less pressure. If it's tied, you know, you can go just hit somebody with a dagger to win. But when you're down 2 and you hit a 3 to call game in a live period situation, he had it going. His ability to score it and facilitate it was high level. Every game I watched him this week, and he just continued to impress me. And I'm so excited to see just where he goes from here, because he's a dude. Offensive player of the district, I believe, in a loaded district down in San Antonio. He just got it done at a high level over and over again. So shout out to you, Jamel. Before we move on to our next segment, a word from our sponsor, Bology. Coaches, parents, and athletes, if you're serious about elevating your game, this is for you. Let me introduce you to Bology, the app that's changing the way players train, improve, and dominate. Bology isn't just another training app. It's a complete player development platform built by former pros and elite coaches who know exactly what it takes to level up. With AI shot tracking for each training session, a library of high-level workouts at your fingertips, and coaches can build their teams for free. Whether you're gunning for that varsity spot, a college scholarship, or you're a coach looking to build champions, Bology has you covered. It's free to start. OGY, where champions are made and greatness is measured. Visit Bology.com to learn more. Once again, I just bodied that ad read. So shout out to Bology. They've been a great partner so far, and we look forward to a lot of great things with them. So this next one, I like this because when you have so many teams, there's limited amount of champions. So as these teams navigate through bracket style play at live period, which I think that's one thing that sets GASO apart. You come to GASO, and a lot of times we will have showcase events, but you're going to be put in a bracket and compete for a championship. So who are those unsung heroes from championship squads who ended up being difference makers? Blue, who is that for you?
Chase Hill, from Arnold Elite, he's going to be attending a TMI next year in San Antonio. He's a kid that continues to stretch out. What is he pushing, about 6'6"?
Yeah.
And he's got this baby face. So I think that he's not done. He's not done growing. And what he has done, though, over the course of even the past year, is the confidence level has always been there, but now the development is catching up with that confidence of being able to drop in those NBA threes, keeping the defense off balance, whether it's with a little bit of a pump fake or just a catch and go to the basket movement. To go finish. He takes a lot of hits, so he gets to the free throw line. He'll finish on his free throws. Defensively, he's very long on that perimeter, so he can guard multiple positions. I don't think that we've seen the end of the end game of him yet. I think that he's got a lot of more development to go, and I think even just as he continues to play through the summer, the amount of touches that he gets, the amount of opportunities, he's taking advantage of that, and you can see how hard he works by how easy the game sometimes comes to him.
Lyndon, you good over there with your camera? I'm the one with bad quality issues. You good?
Yeah.
Right.
Just
who's your guy?
momentary lapse, not a full freeze this time.
Who is your guy? I like this name.
Yeah, we're going to go with Anderson Hochter with Elevate U. Play, what was integral to them making quick work of their brackets. They cruised to a championship for the most part this weekend. There were some tough moments for them, but by and large, they were pretty dominant. Obviously, Deshaun Lewis, Ballard, Damari Evans, giving them a lot of pub over the last few months when they've been at our events. But Anderson Hochter from Highland Park stepped up in several games this weekend when I was watching. Just somebody who is always willing to sprint the floor, and even if he's not scoring, even if it's not just an outlet, sprint the floor, get a layup, he's dragging defenders out of place because he plays so hard. He's sliding over and making the right rotation on defense. He's just one of those guys who as a former coach, would love to have on my team because I know that I can trust him to do the right thing, and I know that his effort levels and shot making, like make no bones about it, the kid can shoot and score just up there with about anybody in the event. But it's those little things that he does that really stood out to me and made him an unsung hero as to why this team ended up winning the NBA Red Championship.
No, absolutely. My unsung hero, Osmel Bowen, Rhythm Basketball. We've got to see this group grow up since 8th grade. So we get to see what they need to work on, and when they work on what they work on, I like to shout those guys out. So he's turned into an even more complete point guard. He's able to stretch the floor with his shot making. When you have two guys like Lance Johnson and Corbin Crocker inside creating havoc and rebounding everything and creating the glass, it was Bowen who was just able to dictate the offense, make sure they got into sets. Because the one thing about Rhythm, they'll throw it into their bigs. They'll run sets and get patient. So when they're able to cut down on turnovers and get the ball up the court into their sets, they're really high level, and that's why they won a championship. But I think Osmel's ability to play make, get them into the right sets, and knock down timely threes all weekend long was a huge reason why they got it done at GASO. And I'm excited to see those guys come back for more. Speaking of coming back for more, who's a prospect this weekend that you want to run it back? Who's somebody that you want, like, hey, come to our next GASO because you're hotter than ever right now, and we want you to duplicate that performance again? Blue, who is that for you?
Frankie Santiago from Aransas Pass plays with Texas Hard Work 2027. Aransas Pass, if you know, it's down south. It's near Corpus. It's near the Corpus Christi Bay. Probably a song that you like, Corpus Christi Bay by Robert Earl Keen there, Lyndon. But,
Bet.
Frankie comes out with comes out and just wants to just light up the nets. And he did that in one game that I was watching. He was able to break loose, get some space, catch and shoot. And then when the defense realized, hey, we got to go and push this guy further out on the arc, when he was getting the ball, what he did was he went baseline a couple of times, got fouled, went to the free throw line or finished on the break. And I was sitting with a couple of college coaches on the baseline, and they were really intrigued, and they went to the notepad and they wrote about Santiago themselves to kind of keep tabs on him. I mean, he's at 6'3", 6'4", so he's broad. He's got some length. Size always matters when you're able to get out and run the lane and be able to shoot the way that he can. I did see him again. I mean, he wasn't as hot as he was the first game I saw him, but then he picked it up again in the third game. So he was a very intriguing prospect that, hey, I'm ready to see again.
Lyndon, yeah, I mean, this is a prospect and a whole team, I'm sure. Who is this running back prospect for you?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go with Diego Landon from D1 Mexico 16U. I don't think it's a stretch to say that this kid has the most college-ready game from any of the 2027s that were there this weekend, because it's not just, you can give somebody the term they're a bucket getter because, they have a hot shooting night and maybe they're getting to the rim a little bit too easy. But this kid's a technician. He is able to manipulate screens on or off ball. I saw him consistently, like if somebody tried to jump through the middle on an off ball screen, he would flare it to the corner, knock it down. 6'5", 6'6" lefty, but also physical. And then also, they got down to AB Elite in that championship game by 15 plus, maybe more, in the first half, and he decides he's going to put the team on his back and just deliver. I mean, consistently. It had like 26 points as they were able to turn that over, come back and win. And obviously the rest of that D1 Mexico team, like they brought the energy this weekend. Loved, not just the chance, the team togetherness, the identity that they had, but just there's a lot of good players to go to, like not just Diego Landon on that team, and I'm excited um, to get them back. But at the end, as Robert Earl Keen would have said, Blue, the road goes on forever and the party never ends. And they enjoyed celebrating that championship at the end of the GASO.
Are y'all done? Are y'all done?
Yeah,
I'm hoping to
I'm
hear
heading
a
home.
Robert Earl Keen reference from him in a
Yeah,
minute now.
it ain't happening. And I lived in Corpus. I still have no idea what y'all are talking about. My sky the limit prospects, Damon Ramirez of Texas Hard Work. It's very unusual when us as a staff will be sitting there and in the moment might be bumping a level up for a kid from our in our scouting service. But that's just how good he was. We talked about his level, then we kept seeing him play, and we was like, well, maybe this, and this. And it's just the consistency. He was able to get to his spots, and he was showing college level plays being made. His frame's always been there, but with the ball in his hands, as much getting to his spots, the mid range was just unbelievable this weekend. And then when you lead your team to a championship the way he did, that Texas hard work team, I'm excited to see them. They're another candidate for run it back. So, I mean, yeah, Damon Ramirez. I can't wait to see them again. Just to be honest, just the way, I mean, he just got to it this weekend. So yeah, he's definitely my running back prospect. I like this next segment. Sky's the limit. A prospect whose stock is boosted as we head into the summer, including heading into TABC. And for mine, I'll start Trey Smith of Family Ties. He was also on my list of possible guys that I want to see run it back. He's very. I don't like to call kids underrated. I don't like that term. It's low hanging fruit, but his skill set, his frame, the way he plays, he just goes out there and gets it done. He's a crafty finisher. He gets through the paint, makes every play possible. I mean, he has some highlight passes, able to finish around the rim, get 3 level scorer. He's just no nonsense as well. Uh, so for him just to keep playing on like the stage he played at GASO this weekend, I think the sky's the limit for this kid. Who, when it's time for colleges to continue to look at and evaluate these prospects, they're going to see a 6'1", 6'2" guard with the frame built out that can guard and no nonsense make winning plays. And that was Trey this weekend. So yeah, sky's the limit for him. Blue, who is your sky's the limit prospect?
Oh man, this one I think I was ready to talk about since I saw him on Friday night was Miller Mask, Pro Skills Elite 16U at Richardson Lake Highlands. Let's start by saying he's 6'8", and this guy, I'm so intrigued. The inside out ability of his game, the how hard he has to work on the inside. He plays with 4 very fast guards, so he has to really work to get his own. But when he gets the ball inside, he tries to feel where the defense is and then go opposite. Of course, I had to dial up Coach Joe Duff